Hey guys, here at Liberty Tech, we also had the signing this week. If you weren't able to attend or you want to see our 7 football players and 1 softball player signed to continue their sports career, you can watch that now.
All right, we're going to get started here. I want to welcome everybody today to Liberty Tech High School. This is a very bittersweet day. These guys are going on to play the next level. At the same time, we're going to miss them here, that's for sure. We have 7 guys that are going to play college football. That's the most guys to go play college football in school history. I'd like to see the record for Jackson because 7 guys is sort of unheard of at the high school level going to play football. These guys have had a great year. I'll go for the team awards first. I just want to talk a little bit about that, what they've done as a team. These guys are outstanding players, but they had a lot of help from the rest of the team. Over the last 2 years, these guys have been 25-4. They have made a state semifinal appearance. They were a state runner-up. They were the 3-time region champs. They were undefeated in the region the last 2 years. They're undefeated at home for the last 2 years. They were 2 times division champs. They had the first undefeated season in school history. There was the first state championship appearance in school history and in Jackson since 1979. Most players in school history received Division I scholarships. Broke every passing and receiving record in school history. Most wins in school history with 13 in 2015. Named top team in the Jackson Sun Dirty Dozen in 2015 and finished in the top 3 in the state in the last 2 years. So let's give these guys a hand. What I'm going to do is we're going to go right down the row, no particular order. I'm going to say a little bit about our player. We're going to show a highlight film. And then we're going to move on because we got 8 people up here signing, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. First guy we got is Elijah Harris. Elijah Harris is 6'4 and a half, about 225. Had 42 solo tackles this year with 30 assists, 6 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 3 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. He was All-State 7-3-8 Defensive Lineman of the Year. He was in the All-Star game. He also won the Team Leadership Award, which is voted on by all the players of the team. One thing I can say about Elijah, he's a very respectful player. He's always yes sir, no sir. Talks a lot about how he was raised. Very good kid. He's one of those guys that killed all the small snakes for me. Guys that would be talking while I'm up trying to talk, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Elijah always handled it. There was a guy that came up on Friday night that was talking on Friday night. They know we're supposed to be focused. You can always hear Elijah out there telling him to be quiet. That's not only his playing ability, but his leadership is going to be a huge void that somebody's going to step up and fill next year. It's going to be a hard job to do. Elijah's upside is insane. What I'm so excited about is to see what Elijah looks like this time next year. He's going to blow up. He's going to be a heck of a college football player, and I can't wait to watch him play. Elijah Harris will be signing his letter of intent to the University of Memphis. Alec Long, when I first walked in the door at Liberty Tech, I saw Alec. He was in one of my PE classes, and I said, man, I wish I got to coach that kid. And Coach Giles said, Coach, you got it for 2 more years. And I said, yes, sir. Alec was like a grown man when he was in 8th grade. He got 1 more year. Alec had 51 solos this year, 19 assists, 9.5 tackles for loss, and Alec played safety. He had 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 5 interceptions, 2 for a touchdown, and 2 were punt returns for touchdowns. Not only is Alec an outstanding defensive player, but his special team ability, he's one of the most elusive players in the state of Tennessee, and in my eyes, the country. He got All-State this year, 7-3-A Defensive Player of the Year. Last year he got 7-3-A Specialist of the Year, which is for his return abilities. He was on the All-Star team, and he also got voted on by his teammates. We have a team, Mr. Tough. And Mr. Tough is the award given to the toughest person on the team, and Alec was given that by his teammates. He was offered by Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Mizzou, Kentucky, Western Kentucky, Arkansas State, Tennessee Tech, MTSU, and Tennessee State. Alec's competitive drive was contagious. Watching Alec practice and watching Alec get frustrated when he's not doing the right thing or when he messes up, I love that as a coach. Alec has a little bit of dog in him, and I tell our players all the time, Alec didn't get where he's at now by not working. Alec's 6 foot, 220 pounds. That's because when Alec left the field house at practice, he was in the gym that night working out, or at a 7-on-7 at Northside High School or JCM or wherever, playing a pickup game of 7-on-7. And that's why Alec is as good as he is. Of course, genetics comes in play there too. He is a genetically gifted human being, but Alec works, and we're going to miss that around here. Alec is going to be signing his national letter of intent to University of Memphis. Corey Newble, 580 yards of rushing for 13 touchdowns, 2,290 yards passing for 20 touchdowns. He has the most passing and rushing yards by any quarterback in school history. He was named on the All-State team. He is the 2-time Region 7-3A Most Valuable Player. He was also in the All-Star game. He was voted on by the team for the team scholar athlete, which is the top athlete and top scholar on the team with a 3.7 GPA. Corey is probably one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen at high school level, and was probably the best quarterback I ever coached in my first year of head coaching. So, man, was I happy when I saw him throw the ball for the first time. When I first got here, a lot of our success offensively went through Corey. Corey is an outstanding athlete. He's a smart kid. And he's just a good human being. When people come in here to ask about Corey Newble as far as colleges and everything, I'm saying you're not going to find a harder worker and a better kid than Corey Newble. He's just that kind of guy. He's a leader that everybody wants to follow. And he's going to be greatly missed by us. He's going to be very hard to replace. And who knows if we can ever replace a guy like that. He changed the tone of the game. Many times when we want the ball and we need to play, we're going to put the ball in Corey Newble's hands. And that's how it was the last 2 years. We would not have the success that we've had, first off, without anybody on the stage, but especially a quarterback. Corey is going to be signing his letter of intent to Murray State University. Rodney Steele. Rodney is one of them guys, you say his name, you can't help but smile. I think his personality is infectious. The whole time that I've been here, I don't ever remember Rodney still having a bad day of practice. Outstanding football player. In my eyes, the best receiver in the state, hands down. There's not a player like him. First off, his playmaking ability. He's also a 300 meter hurdle state champion. he's the best leader probably I've ever seen just by the way he carries himself on the field. You always hear Rodney at the first of practice, I bet you $1 I don't drop one and you drop one today. And that's how he do it with all the receivers. And it drove those guys to get better, get more on Rodney's level. Rodney is an exceptional athlete, but he's a great kid too. And that's like all these guys up here. All these guys have something in common, and they're all outstanding human beings. I tell our guys all the time, it all correlates. You act right in the classroom. Take care of business in the classroom, and you act right in the field, are a good teammate. That stuff all goes together, and that's what all these guys are. And it really helps you build a program like we have here at Liberty, because these guys see what kind of guys these are. And they see where they're going now. Rodney Castile, 99 catches this year. If I knew we were close to 100, I would throw the ball one more time, I promise. He had 99 catches and he played quarterback for one game, and we set him out after half quite a few games. He had 1,311 yards receiving this year with 16 touchdowns. And also had 1 touchdown passing this year. He is the all-time leading receiver, single game receiver. He had 16 catches against Pearl-Cohn. He broke that school record. He's also had more catches in a season. Last year with 80. He broke his record from last year, this year with 99. And he also has the most receiving yards in school history. He is 2-time All-State. He is the 7-3-8 Offensive Player of the Year. He was a member of the All-Star team. He was voted on by his teammates as team MVP. And like I said, he had most catches in a season by any receiver in school history. Rodney is going to be one of the guys that also, like the rest of these guys up here, I know I'm getting repetitive, but Rodney's going to be very hard to replace. His leadership, his playmaking ability. Rodney is one of the guys that every time the ball's in his hands, you don't know what's going to happen. There's no telling what he's going to do. And there's no telling what touchdown dance he's going to do after he gets done either. But he was very fun to coach, probably one of the most fun guys I've ever coached, and we're going to miss him. Rodney's going to Murray State University with Corey. And that Murray State got 2 steals of those guys. They're about to have some fun with them. John Tazzy Montague. What can I say about John Tazzy Montague? John Tazzy, he lightens the mood up. Sometimes Coach Turner can be pretty intense, but you always hear John Tazzy Montague mocking Coach Turner in the background. So, Montague played corner for us this year, outstanding player, gradually just improved every week. I think his ceiling, like Elijah, is going to be so huge in college. I think he's just going to get better and better at defensive back. This year, his season stats are: he had 40 tackles with 7 assists, 1.5 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. He was also on the first team All-Region team. John Tazzy, his leaping ability and his hips are some of the best I've seen in the cornerback position. He is an outstanding person. I believe that since I've been here for the last 2 years, John Tazzy might have missed 1 practice in 2 years. That's a lot of getting better. That's what I tell my guys all the time. You don't get better by not coming to practice. John Tazzy has improved probably more than any player that we had, just because he's there and he's working his tail off every day. John Tazzy's going to be one of those guys that you're going to miss having around the locker room. He's a team player. He's one of those guys that's friends with everybody. We're going to miss having him around. He has signed his national letter of intent to Bethel University. Trey Dunlap. Trey had 46 tackles this year with 14 assists, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks from his free safety position. He was also nominated by the coaches of the region for first team all region. Now Trey, I don't know if ever missed a day of practice. He had a concussion this year. He had to go to therapy. Besides that, I'll make Trey know that he's missed a day of practice in the last 2 years. Trey is the guy. He played free safety. Usually a linebacker or something like that is going to get you lined up in the defense and tell you tendencies, stuff like that. Trey put us in everything. Trey set the tone for the defense. He really did. If we're playing a team that runs a lot of jet sweep, power stuff, Trey can tell you exactly what play is coming from formation. He was just like having another coach on the field. Very, very big student of the game, watched a lot of film, went over a scout report, and was very fun to coach just because how prepared he was. I was talking to some coaches that coached Trey in the All-Star game here recently. They came to me and they said, they asked, "Where's Trey going to college at?" And I said, "Well, as far as right now, he's not committed anywhere." He said, "Man, whoever gets him is going to get a steal." Trey played another position for them in the All-Star game and just excelled, and they just loved coaching him. That's the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy Trey is. Very, very fun to coach. Enjoy to coach. A great kid. Yes, sir. No, sir. He was raised the right way. You can tell that. He's very respectful. Probably the most respectful kid I've ever met, and especially ever coached. Very proud. And I think, like I said, I think Bethel University is going to get a steal with this one. He's going to be signing his national letter of intent to Bethel University. Christian Ballard. He had 168 carries for 1,152 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 reception for a touchdown. He was also voted first team all region by the coaches of the region. I told this at the banquet, when we had our football banquet the other day. I said, somebody told me that a guy had enrolled at Liberty Tech from Chester County. Well, I didn't think anything about it. And then they said, "No, do you really know who's here at Liberty Tech?" I said, "Who?" He said Christian Ballard. He said he got 7-4 running back of the year. And I saw Christian that day, and I made the joke there. I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." Outstanding looking kid. I mean, you look at Christian, he's slapped together. He looks the part, that's for sure, and he is a very explosive running back. He had 1,152 yards, and he played running back. He set out running back probably 4 or 5 games over an ankle injury, a nagging ankle. He also played 2 ways for us. He also started at Sam linebacker. He's in charge of putting our defense and getting our defensive line aligned. He was a 2-way player. You got to be tough to play 2 ways nowadays with how fast we go offensively. What really sticks out to me about Christian is his ability to make cuts. It's unlike what I've ever seen. His vision of the field. Christian comes in from Chester County and he fits in immediately with our guys. He's a great kid, and his mom and dad have done an outstanding job. Very respectful, very fun to coach. Was fun at practice because he always brought his A game at practice. And I wish I would have got to coach him another year like I did the rest of these guys. I'm going to miss him a whole lot. He's going to be signing his national letter of intent to Murray State University. These guys don't get the recognition they have right now unless it's for the whole team. This is a team sport. It's a tough sport. I work these guys, I work their tails off. We come up here summer, we practice longer than anybody in the summer than anybody else in our region and West Tennessee. And these guys never bat an eye. The way they work is the reason why you're down 21 points at halftime and you come back, you put up 36, and you whip our tail and you go on the next round. And these guys set the tone for that. We don't have the success we've had the last 2 years without these guys leading the way. They are exceptional athletes. I'm so lucky to come in as a first-year head coach and coach guys like this. Not only great athletes, but there's no attitudes. You know, there's no prima donnas up here. These guys are very humble kids, and I tell them all the time, there's no reason to be humble until you do something. You know, they get a chance to go do it now. Okay, you get to play big-time ball at the highest level, and you gotta make the most of it. Okay, you gotta make the most of it. You gotta represent Liberty Tech High School like you've done the whole time you've been here. Compete, play football like your hair's on fire. Okay, be aggressive, be intense, set the tone in practice like you have here. Okay, I'm very proud of you guys, and I lie awake at night thinking, man, I'm gonna miss those guys. Not only just players, but just having y'all around here. I know these guys are doing this school is gonna miss you because you're great kids. You're great kids. Parents, you did an awesome job, Lees. You did an awesome job. Give yourself a hand. As a coaching staff, we want to thank y'all for y'all's time and thank y'all for y'all's listening to us and taking some of my stuff. Okay? Thank you for the memories. Thank you for being a leader at the school. Remember, once a Crusader, always a Crusader.
Let me say again, thank you for being here to honor these student athletes. I'd like for Amber's mom to stand just a minute so we can greet her. Would you mind standing for a minute? Amber didn't ask me to do that. I just did that on my own. We are excited to be here today to honor them and support them. And I know this is not the only time you have, and we have supported them all through their careers. And I know that all of us are excited for them. I'm new here, and I'm going to tell you what I know about Amber and what she's planning on doing, and I'm excited to be part of that. Our season hasn't started yet, so we're looking forward to doing some special things this year in softball. If you get a chance, we'd love for you to come watch us. We start in about a month or so. I'd love for you to be a part of that. Amber's been playing in sports since she was a little bitty. You're probably aware of it, but she plays soccer, she cheerleads, she plays basketball, softball. She's in several different school organizations. A very good student, and we're excited about that. Give her a hand for that. One of the things I encourage them to do is be involved as much as you can be. I think it makes them balanced people. I think it helps them in their own personal goals, and it helps our school as well. So I was excited about finding out that she was involved in so many things. I'm amazed how she gets it all done, but we're excited for her. She plays softball for our Germantown travel team, which is at the highest level. She's always wanted to be a pitcher and play in college, and she's going to get the opportunity. She's going to sign with Northwest Florida. It's in Niceville, Florida. Let's give her a hand for that.